Hi there, a very warm welcome to this particular video. So you've already seen the intro, what exactly we are going to build in this particular video. Now it's time to execute that up. So let's get started. So at first I have already created a new project, and this is the thing that I have used for creating a new project. In my Ionic projects folder, I have created a new project using this particular command. Alright, and it is of type Angular. It's a blank project, and the name I have given is network listener app, listen app. So that's what you can do out here. And after this is done, for the account I have selected Ionic free account, I have selected no, and I went to do this particular folder and type the command code space dot for entering the Visual Studio Code directly. So that is what I have used, and here we are. Now out here I have simply run Ionic serve and we are good to go. You can see this is the design that is coming up. Now what am I going to do? Well, I'll simply go to the homepage HTML file. Out here I'll simply change the title at first to network. I think that will be fine, and I don't want it to be translucent, so I'll just remove it up because this is the iOS screen. It won't work in Android. If you want to check it out, let me just show you in Android. This particular one, you can see it is showing network, and the blank one is not showing up. This is not showing up, right? So that is what happens, and I don't want it to break anywhere, so I'll just have the same design everywhere, because out here it is not about designing, it is about the implementation. All right, so let me again select this particular one, reload it up, and what I'll do, I'll simply remove this particular header from here, and even this translucent, I don't want it. Full screen, I don't want to give it, but this one we can still use it. How it can be done? Let me just remove all of it. Let me empty this up, and in here let me simply type you are online. Let's see, it is showing up. Correct? You can just place it out here also. Simply remove all the stuff if you want, or you can keep it out here like I said. So in the SCSS, well, a lot of things are being used. If you don't want to use it up, simply remove it like the way I am doing right now. I'll remove all of it except the container because we are using the tab, right? So that is why I'll keep it. So text align and positioning is being done, so that is necessary for aligning it properly in the Y direction. 50% transformation is given. Let me have 20%. I think that will be better. And top, it's like 20 will be good. Yeah, or let's have 30. Okay, so you can play around with this CSS if you want to. I will want to play around a lot out here because I want to execute it. So in order to use the network plugin, we have to do something. So what is that we have to do? We have to install the network plugin at first. So for that, I've gone to the browser. Don't worry, I'll explain all this stuff later on. This is for the error screens. But let's go to our capacitorjs.com, and out here I'll go to the plugin section, to the official plugins, and then to the network one. Where is it? This is the one. Click on it. So out here at first we need to install it up, so simply copy this one, and I'm going to go out here, open another shell and paste it out here. Fine. Once that is done, then this is the command that we need to run. But before running that, we need to run Ionic build, not serve, Ionic build, otherwise it will give me errors. And if you have trouble in watching, I'll simply do it in this particular manner. Fine, the Ionic build is done. Now I'll simply paste the command and hit enter. It is also done. So everything is good to go. Now what we need to do out here, we need to work with that in this particular way. So what I'll do now, let me simply copy this up, this whole stuff up till here, copy it up, go to the code, and in the TypeScript, I need to go to the TypeScript, and out here, I'll simply have the ng on init. We don't have it right now. Let's implement on init. All right. Even if you can pass it in the constructor, it's okay, but I will pass it in the ng on init. This is how we can do that up, as this is the first page, so we don't have that out here. Paste it. Okay. And we need to import it. So importing is also done, as we got the suggestion, right? So everything is so smooth to work with out here, right? I hope you are liking it the way I do. And this thing we don't need to do in this particular manner. I'll change it, don't need to worry about it. Now out here we need to handle listener at first, and this particular stuff, well, I can simply remove it also, but let's do it one by one. Let me have some properties out here. One is the network listener, and which will hold this particular plugin listener handle, which we can import directly from the capacitor core. It is done. All right. We are going to listen to that listener. I think spelling is this one. Fine. Then I will have a status of type boolean, which will say, okay, it is online or offline. That's what we are going to do. So in the ng on it, let me make it async in this particular manner, and let me remove this void. Let's initialize our listener. This dot network listener will be equals to await network dot add listener, and we will get the status in return, which is also logging it out here. If you want to check the logs, let me just show you out here in the console log. Nothing is coming up, right? Okay, let's check it once again. Okay, it is not activated. I think that is why it is not showing the network listener. Don't worry, we'll check it again. Let's finish up everything at first, then we will check it why it is not coming up, because we need to do something. We need to at first get the network status, right? Then the listener will work, I think. Yes, that's true. So out here, instead of this stuff, what am I going to do? Well, I'll simply paste the code. Out here, what have I done? You can simply check it out here. Let me remove this, not needed. Fine. So basically, I've created a constant called status, which is holding the network.get status. And once that is done, I'm passing that particular status in the change status. Alright, that's the function that I'm going to create just now. Change status. Okay, spelling is wrong. Why am I making so much new mistakes today? And it will take the status, alright, in this particular manner. And I'm going to set this dot status will be equals to status dot connected. That's what I'm going to get, but I'll show you exactly what all things we get in this status. Alright, I'll give a question mark just to be on the safe side. Now let's check it out here. What exactly do we get? Now we have a status. Network status is undefined. Alright, okay, connected spelling is wrong. That is why. Let me have that. And what I'll do, instead of logging this one, I'll copy this up and I'll paste it out here also. And I'll just check what is the value of status. Then it's going to be better, right? Let's try it again. So value of status we get connected. Along with that we get the connection type. All right, it is whether it is Wi-Fi or something. So that's all we get out here. Right now why it is showing none, I don't understand, but that's okay. It works, right? I have shown in the course also. No need to worry. Let me remove this and correct it. Now let's check it once again. We get network status as false. So this value is coming as false. Alright, so that's working pretty nicely. Now, how do we play around with this? So the simple way of playing around with that is in the HTML out here. What I will do, I'll simply change this stuff online and offline. You are online or you are offline based on the value that we get of the status. If status is set, then the value will be online, otherwise it's gonna be offline. That's what I'm going to do. So as of now it is showing as offline. Alright, that's strange. Now why am I getting as false? I'm connected to a Wi-Fi network and it is having the proper internet connection. So now as you can see out here, well, we are not doing anything when we are listening to the change. As of now we are online right now, but since I gave offline at first, so it is tracking the offline one and again it is not coming up. So in order to check this status, let me just do something out here. What I'll do, I'll simply paste the code. So at first we are checking for the console log like the earlier one, then I'm using the ng zone out there for detecting the changes. Alright, and I need to do something out here in the constructor. So let me pass out here private. Let me paste it directly. Private ng zone, we need to import it up. So now it is imported pretty nicely and we are good to go. Alright, let's check it this time. Do we get the proper result or not? So the status of connected, what is the value? It is still showing false. Alright, let me just do one thing. Let me switch off my Wi-Fi and switch it back on. I'm online now and it is changed to online. You can see out here, right? And if I change it back to offline, you will see the change out here. You are offline. So it is working pretty nicely. And if you want to like track it via some color, I think color will be better. So let's do it out here. What I'll do, I will work with that. How will I do that? Instead of passing it in this particular manner, let me comment this up and okay, undo. What I'll do, I'll create out here an IN text. Within that, I'm going to pass a condition. We can do either way. Either I can pass the same thing out here also for the color one, but I don't want to do that up. So I'll simply check if status, then online, the color I'm going to give is success color, which is defined in our variables.scss in the theme folder in the project one. And I'll copy and paste it out here. If status equals to false, then only it's going to show up, because initially we haven't set any value, so it won't take it. And I'll give the color to be danger and it is offline. Fine. Now you can see that up. So if I just change it, you can see red. Now you will see the green one. It is changed to green. So this is looking nice. Once that is done, we are good to go out here. Now, since we are listening to a network listener, then we need to destroy it also once the page is over, or you are not working with that particular page, or it is already destroyed. So I'm just using on destroy out here. This is the interface that I'm using and already imported. And for using that up, I need to use ng on destroy. Out here, I'll simply check a condition. If network listener, this spelling is wrong, right now it is corrected. If network listener is available, then I'll simply remove it up. That's the only thing that I'm going to use out here. Nothing else is needed. So that will help me to destroy it. It is very much necessary to destroy it, because if you're not listening to that and you're not destroying, then there will be memory leaks. We don't want that, because that is harmful for the application. That is why I'm doing this up. So now it is perfect. Now we can simply implement the error screen out here, because whenever it is offline, you will see a model popping up, alright, and taking the whole screen out there. So let's work on that. And in order to work with that, what I have to do, let me go to the browser, and out here, well, I have already made a video on the error screen, so I'll just directly redirect you to that particular video. So this is the video that I have built, 10 plus dynamic error screens, which you can just check it out here. Just search this thing. That is why I prepared everything for you. And then I have opened this particular video out here, and in this video there is a link for getting the source code. So you just simply click on that, and I'm out here. It might change in later future, but you just check the link, whatever it's available out there. And in here you simply download the code. Once that code is downloaded, you download it up from here. Once it is downloaded, you will see this particular folder I have out here. Within that I have all this particular files. This is the thumbnail that is available. Now in the src one, what am I going to do? I have all the things in my components. So let me simply copy this particular components, and I'll go back to the code and open this particular one in the Finder. Let's do that up. So out here in this particular Finder one, in the app one, let me paste this. Now once that is pasted, let's check it out here. Let me minimize it up and check out here what exactly happened. In our components one, we have the empty screen. That's great. We can use it anywhere we want. And within that, we have all the things out here. That's pretty fine. That's what we need to use. So it's going to be pretty great. And we don't need to make any changes out here. If you want to learn, you can just watch that particular video. Everything is great out here. So what I'll do now, I need to go to the assets folder, and out here I need to have something. What is that? Let me just show you. So in here, well, I have copied this up. Then in the assets one, I had lots of images. So let me simply copy this up, this images folder, and I'll open up the project folder. And in here, in the assets one, I will simply paste it. Once that is done, I will use the 12th one, which is for the no network one, and others I will simply remove it. We don't want to use that right now, so I'll remove it up. This is the only one that I need. Alright, so all the setup is done now. Okay, nothing else I think we need to do. We just need to execute that up. So this is how you can get the things. I have already shown you everything out here. Now in order to use it in the home page, I simply need to call it in the home module. So components module, you can import it from here. Alright, this is done. It is imported also. So everything is working as expected. Now we can simply use it up out here. How I'm going to use it, I'll just show you right now. So what I'll do now out here, for the offline one, I will not have this. Okay, let me comment this up so that you can understand, okay fine, why we are doing that. Now I will pass this particular condition. You can remove this condition from here also, but I'll keep it since we are working with this. So out here, I'm going to pass this particular condition. It will only be available when we are online. If we are offline, then I'm going to implement something else, which will be a model. Now, in order to implement a model, well, I will use the inline model out here, which I have already explained in the earlier videos. So I'll simply paste the code out here. I'm using out here an ion model where I'm using the property called isOpen, which will take a boolean value, because we can judge, okay fine, whether to open this model on a particular property value when it is getting changed, or when should we open that up. Alright, that is the condition that I've given. If the status equals to false, that means you are offline, then it's going to open that up. And within that, you have already seen we have ng template. If you are confused, you can simply check the Ionic framework documentation and you will get these things out there. So in the ng template, we have the ion content at first. Within the ion content, I'm simply passing this empty screen which we have in our components module, right? That is why I'm using that directly. So within this, we need to pass something called model. I need to create that up, and I will have a function called check status whenever we want to hit the button and check it out. Wait, I'll explain this thing later on, but let me work with the model at first. So for the model, what am I going to do? Let me create a model out here, model of which will be equals to an empty object. Now one error is gone. Then the next thing is a function that I need to create, check status. All right, that will pass an event. Now all the errors are gone for the time being. So we are back online, everything is good to go. What next we need to do? So in order to display that particular model, we need to make the changes into our model at first. And out here it will work when it is offline. That's pretty okay. So condition is fine, but the model value we need to work out here. So everywhere we are using a common thing, that is this particular function, change status. So we need to make all the things or all the changes out here itself in the change status function. What all changes we need to make? Let me just show you. So after we are setting up our status, then what am I going to do? I'm going to simply check a condition. If the status is not set, that means it is false out here, then I will simply set my model, to which I'll give the background to be this particular image 12.png, which I have already shown you how we have done that up. Then the title will be no connection. Then the subtitle will be your internet connection was interrupted, please retry. That is given in the description. That all the designing part, it's already done in that particular video. You can simply check that out. Alright, link is already there in the description. You can simply go out there if you're finding some problem in looking at that. Alright, or finding that out. So that's pretty simple. Then all these things are being done. We have the color. Okay, fine. Everything is good to go. So there are some errors out here. Let's rectify that. What exactly have I done something wrong? Yes, I do. Well, actually there will be another braces, closing braces for this if condition, which I forgot to pass. Now it's perfect. Everything is good to go. Now let's see if I'm offline, what will show up. So if I am offline, you can see directly this particular model is showing up, right? So this is pretty nice. No connection, your internet connection was interrupted, please retry. That's looking awesome. And if I just get back to online again, let's see what happens this time. It is changed automatically. The model is gone. Right, so everything is happening automatically. I'm not doing anything. I'm just simply toggling between the network status. Now what happens if you don't want to listen to that particular event all the time? Say like whenever there is a network status change to offline, you are removing this particular listener because you don't want to listen when you're offline to some stuff, and you give a button out there just like the way we have given for retry. So we can make use of that particular button out here if you don't want that. Means if you don't want the listener to be active all the time. So in order to achieve that, what we have to do, let me just show you. Out here, at first I need to call, after this is done, if the if condition is done, okay, within the if condition I need to give, because only when you're offline then I'm doing that up. So I'll simply call this .ng on destroy because it is already passed out here. So why to write everything again and again, correct? So I'll simply call this particular function. So the listener will be removed if we call this particular function out here in this particular condition, and the model will pop up. Now if you click on this particular button, for this particular button I have made some changes out here. Let me just show you at first. So let me go to this particular one out here and to the TypeScript. I think no, we don't have any button out here as of now. Let's create one. So for that I need to have the output decorator. So output decorator, and within the I'll name the decorator as retry, which will be of type event emitter. So I'm making the changes out here in the component one. Just be careful what exactly I'm doing. It will be of type any. Okay, it will be equals to new event emitter of type any. Okay, in this particular manner I have initialized it to be an event emitter. So it's going to emit an event. When it's going to emit an event? When I'm clicking on that particular button. So where is that button actually? Let me just search for it. So the button name is retry, and this is the button I suppose. Alright, so let me just break it down a bit in this particular manner. Alright, now what I'll do, I'll pass a click event out here where retry button, let me name it as such because we cannot pass the same thing that we have done out there. Alright, that means in the event emitter I've given as retry, out here I've given retry, so I cannot do it in the same manner. I cannot have the same name. Otherwise, if you just check it out, it will give an error. That is why I've changed the name to button, retry button. And within that, how will I emit this particular event from the components? We need to pass something to our page. So it's going to be pretty interesting. If you haven't seen this part in our previous videos, then you must watch that up, or you can just check it out here also. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to use this retry. It's going to emit an event by using the emit function out here, where I can simply pass a value. So let me simply pass true. It doesn't make any sense if I don't pass anything also, but still I'll do that up. Alright, so I'll pass just some value, true. Okay, fine. You have clicked the button and it is emitting true out there. That's it. We are not going to work with this true anywhere. So now in the HTML, no errors, correct? Everything is good to go. Now what I'll do, I'll share everything is fine. And in our home page, where it is in the home page HTML, you might not get this particular stuff retry earlier on. I just forgot to tell you, but I have already created this, and that is what I have pasted out here. Retry, where I've created a function called check status. You have already seen that, and within that I'm passing the event. So this is how we interact between pages and components. So it is pretty much necessary for you to understand this part out. Now once that is done in the home page, well, we already have this function, and out here I will simply do one thing. I'll call this .ng onInit function, because it has everything that we need out here. The listener will get active again, the status will be checked again, alright, and the status will be changed out here. So everything we need, it's already available in the ng onInit. If you don't want this listener to take place, or if you don't want it to be used, then you can simply skip this up and you can simply copy this particular code and paste it out there. That's it. Now let's quickly check this out. What happens if I go offline this time? Okay, you can see this is coming up, and if I go online, now you see I'm online, correct? But no change out here. Why? Because we have removed this particular listener, okay, by using the ng on destroy. Now if I want to get back to the actual page, then I need to click this button called retry. If I click this up, retry, you can see the model has disappeared and we are back online. Now if I'm offline again, it is coming up, and if I click out here again, you can see this model is not disappearing. So that is what happens. It is detecting, okay fine, if there is any change, then only it's going to work out there. Alright, so now I'm back online and I'll click out here, it's gone. So this is how it is simply working. I hope you have understood this part, and I hope you have liked this particular video. It was pretty interesting for me. I hope many of you might be having some trouble with the network one, but it is working pretty smoothly. It works in Android and iOS phones also pretty nicely. I have already shown in the course everything how it works. I think in the Linux one, some people are having some problem that it is not detecting the changes. The network listener is not working out there in the Linux OS. So you must be careful about that. Otherwise it's working pretty fine everywhere. So you can simply try this particular code anywhere you want. Alright, now before wrapping up this particular video, I would like to tell you that I have built 2 courses so far, which is on Ionic. One is with Ionic with Firebase from beginner to advanced, and the other one is Ionic with Node.js, that is also from beginner to advanced. In both the cases, I have shown how to build food delivery application along with all the basics and all the practical examples that I have already shown in that particular courses. So if you have enrolled in the first course, definitely you can check out this second course also, which is hot and new out there in Udemy. Links are available in the description for both the courses. All the offers are available if you haven't checked any of those, and if you have already enrolled, then you can check the second course. It's pretty smooth. Everything is taught from beginner to advanced, including the Node.js is also taught from beginner to advanced, and you can learn Node.js with TypeScript too, from starting with creating an application to deployment part. Alright, everything is covered up and all the things are pretty structured. So if you just want to learn the backend Node.js only, you can simply go ahead with this particular course also, because the structure is pretty simplified. Where to start, I have already shown you in that particular course, that I'll teach Ionic at first from beginning to a certain level, then I'll start with Node.js, and I'll combine both of them. So that is what is being done. I hope you might like it. So go with that, check it out, and if you think that is helpful for you, then what are you waiting for? Go and enroll right now. So with that being said, I'll wrap up this video out here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.